Welcome back, hunters. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return Monster Hunter World I.C.E. I was debating whether I would go right back to I.C.E. after the title update week in Sunbreak, or if I do another week of that. But there wasn't really that much new to show off with this recent title update. Like, yeah, Velkhana got added, and Risen Crimson Gold Valstrax got added, but beyond their fights, there wasn't much that really I felt to show or change or, like, continue with. And because we do have a lot of content to cover with Monster Hunter World I.C.E., I figure we'd hop back to this. I'll get a week of just using the light bow gun again, getting my bearings bit with the more traditional Monster Hunter feel in that. Because let's face it, Sunbreak with the wire bugs and the switch skills and all that can be a different beast from what we're usually used to for it. So I'll spend a week back with this, and then I'll take suggestions and see what weapons you guys would like me to go over and cover, like, with the IC changes still. The Gun Lance I know is one that was mentioned I should check out, and it does sound like it's gotten quite a few reworks from what it used to have. So that'll be something to check out, possibly to start us off next week. We'll see what comments come in requesting stuff for that, but we're just going to get back to Monster Hunter World, where we are about to go explore the Rotten Vale a little bit.
Now is the time.
Ready to descend into the Rotten Vale? Yeah, let's head off for it. First, we need to look for a place to touch down. Once we reach our destination, you may depart and make camp preparations. Then it's back to the usual order of business, finding Zora Magdros' trail. Now, I want you to pay close attention. While you are down there, think long and hard. What is the Rotten Vale? How does it connect to the Coral Highlands? Well then, off we go. Yeah, these two areas are introduced pretty close together with each other, although I kind of feel like there should have been a little something exploring the Coral Highlands that kind of lead you down to know more about the Rotten Vale. Like, in-game-wise, if you did explore the Coral Highlands, you would have found kind of like an interesting underbelly to it. That leads very well to the Rotten Vale, but it's not explicitly drawn to your attention. Which, I mean, it has positives and negatives to it, but I still feel like if you did stick more like this approach where it was hard story going along, it kind of feels a little out there for the Rotten Vale to suddenly come up and be talked about. Here's the research base on the move.
Hey, over there. What do you think?
Very well.
And that lowers us down. Like, this is still probably one of the
Heads up.
most metal areas in video gaming, I'd say. Like, if you really look around, the Rotten Vale, it just has so much, like, carcasses, bones, stuff like that.
Definitely complicates setting up camp. I know.
Yeah, this is the most I think the handler ever does in the entire game for you, is just tosses you some slinger ammo. But yeah, once we do get exploring and roaming around the Vale, a lot of it blends in with, like, stonework and that, but if you really pay attention,
When in doubt,
the Vale is just, like,
burn 'em out.
a giant, trying to think, body pit, really. Yeah, so that's camp already set up here. We'll take a little bit of Slinger Torch for us anyway. And we'll just do a little bit of exploring around. Make sure you always check... Oh! Yeah, like, they're these almost... It kind of reminds me of Coral Reef for how the stone is all kind of, like, bubbled and noduled in a way. As you look closer, you start seeing all the flesh and bodies and that to it, and it's... just a really, really interesting biome. Okay, we'll just roam around, get our few materials, check out a few places, scope it out. And then continue along for things. A little bit of ammo. Flash pod doesn't hurt to have. Ooh. Oh, is that... No, that's just a... Yeah, you know what, I might as well take. We'll keep ourselves stocked up with all the ammo types we can come across. And then again, just the little endemic creatures. After having played Sunbreak, I mean, the combat... See, I still prefer World Iceborne. There is a spot for, like, the fast stuff that Rise and Sunbreak brought, but I feel like it's a little too disconnected from, like, the context of Monster Hunter in a way. Because Monster Hunter has always been more so you are really, like, you feel more grounded to the environments and everything. It's not like there's that much, I'd say, high fantasy to it.
Ugh, this place is filled with that vapor stuff. Don't breathe it in or your
Yeah, there
health
we
will
go.
drop.
We'll just get a little
Is
breathing
this
room.
effluvium? Be careful not to touch it.
Yeah, see, and that's the first mention of, like, effluvium, where something, it feels like it was meant to explain a little bit more, or they're supposed to be mentioned in-game before this point of that. Yeah, I'll just see about dealing with some of these guys. Thanks to the Slinger Torch, they don't want to get too close to us, and I think we might have them starting to flee off. But yeah, I highly prefer World Iceborne, this kind of more grounded time feel than how dynamic you kind of became with Rise and Sunbreak. That and the environment just feels a lot more impactful because, again, it's not like the gamey sort of feel like the environment got with Rise and Sunbreak. Like the hunting helpers I mentioned before, it just feels like they're too convenient for the player. It's just a pickup power item, or a power up that you just grab and it's only for your benefit. Ooh, well, there's the big guy. No, he doesn't seem to care too much about us.
Nothing can stop us.
Oh, are you? Oh yeah, you... I guess I must have wounded this one. Because he basically went right down. We'll leave him alone and just keep scouting. I'm trying to remember everything there is to find. I know there's... I think there's only one other campsite. But yeah, just coming back and playing this and having the Clutch Claw feeling... It still has some benefits to use it in Tenderize, but it doesn't feel as, like, oppressive. It just makes me really appreciate World more. I think the big thing will come once we get to the actual start of Iceborne, where that was the place, like, the game felt so weird coming to if you played World before. Like, because you were so used to not using the Clutch Claw, monsters felt like they suddenly became so much more tanky and health pool-wise, that unless you were using the new stuff introduced, you were in for a slow slog going through. Whereas this time, I think it's going to be a really interesting experience, and probably a lot more fun, where it feels like you can get a little bit of a bonus if you do want to use the Clutch Claw, but you're not forced to. Oh. I guess this is as far down as we can go. So I guess we'll have to make a way back up and are looking through more. I don't remember that being blocked off, though. We'll just make our way up and keep going around for a few spots. I know there are some areas we haven't checked out quite yet. Let me snag that. Yeah, you know what? Let me go grab a little bit more Slinger Torch. Just because it will be helpful as we keep looking around. Yeah, there's just this little area for a shortcut. Might as well snag that. And then we'll go to the Great Gyros' nest. Oh, speaking of, there he is, just waddling his way along. Gyros is definitely a monster that just, like, had no real slot in for the game, though. Like, I know you can get paralysis weapons, or, well, I think a few paralysis weapons from him, but he just doesn't really play anything more of a role. At least Great Jagras, you know, was, like, your first monster to ever go after. And even Radobaan, at least it gave you, like, water element you could use. But Great Gyros just didn't really have much. Okay, I think that's everything we can explore down there, though, so we'll just do the loop around the top area. And go pay a little visit to the skull of a... Technically, yeah, we have shown him off on the channel. There it is. The Dalamadur skull. Like, yeah, those, like, spike plates are so trademark of it. Oh, Old Strange Rut. Where is that? Maybe it's up here a little more. Oh, wow, okay, this looks a lot different. Yeah, like, a lot of parts of the skull here, I don't remember, like, this here before. Or maybe it always was, and I just haven't taken a really good look around, but I thought this area was usually a lot more opened up. Well, we'll grab some more bones and keep going. Get our tracks while we can, too. This was another thing. Oh, a little annoying Hermitar. We'll leave it be. But I like these, like, little environmental things. It's kind of like the hot and the cold drinks. I do miss them from Rise and Sunbreak, and I think World Iceborne did them really well, where even if you don't have the items in your inventory, you can find them easily just by base camps or out in the world to easily pick up, convert into it, and immediately drink and keep going. It's something where it kind of adds that little bit of flavor, like, okay, the environment is really cold, or it is really hot, and you have to have a little bit of means to counter it. But you're not super punished if you don't have that item right on you. It promotes you having gathered or looked around the environment first. Wait, let's go down here. I kind of forget that there's this little ramp, too. So I don't think there's anything that really... Yeah, there's not super much you use this ramp for. I think this is just like a little bit of a quick access to the upper and lower areas. You know what? Let me see. Yeah, let's craft all that. Oh, can we craft all that? Yeah, we'll do that. Just that we have... Not that I think we're going to have much, like, fighting or a hunt. We're probably just going to investigate and learn all we can. No. Yeah, so some of these things, like these big bone piles... Oh, speaking of the big bone pile... There's a kind of familiar face. Oh, he basically spun out. Radobaan.
Hey, partner.
Oh, we actually do have to hunt him. Okay. So we do got a fight in our hands. Yeah, Radobaan, he's one of the monsters that's really simple for looks in that, but I think he's a design that actually goes pretty well for, like, everything. He definitely makes use of the, the part breaks having a proper impact on a hunt. And I do love the evade reload, having this back. It's just so nice and stylish to have. And then the little quality of life of making it so that way you did have... There's some more parts off. Or like some more of the bones broken off his armor. Oh, there we go. Alright, get out of there so that Nahabra doesn't cause us problems. And see if we can break that part off. There we go. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I hope Monster Hunter keeps the, like, hunting vibes of certain things. Because one of the things about Rise and Sunbreak is Monster Hunter turned more into like Monster Fighter or Monster Battler. I mean, it was kind of a little bit more in line with the way some of the older games were, like say 3 Ultimate. But even then, they still had some aspects that felt like you were more like hunting in the environment. Like again, the cold and hot drinks. The fact, too, that you couldn't really... I don't really know if I like the idea of, like, being able to restock from the base camp as much as you can. Just because it feels like you're not really out in the field anymore. Because if you can just restock everything from your base camp... I don't know, it does feel kind of cheap against the monsters in a way. I know I'm pretty nitpicky with that, but it's just something I'm not sure, like, the direction we'll see Monster Hunter's next, like, big entry go in. I'm hoping it sticks more to, like, what direction they were going with World. And depending on, like, what release or, like, what consoles or that it's intended to be on, maybe that's where we'll see some variation towards more, like, lighter systems or action stuff like that. Let's see, maybe about... Okay, well, you know what, while he's moving off, let me get the full reload in through this. There we go. Okay, we're loading, good to go. I forgot, though, that this was a way that they introduced new monsters to you as well for World in Iceborne, is you'd go on an expedition to these areas, and they'd generally have you go after, like a part of the roster for the area. I don't think the Coral Highlands had anything like... Or did it ask us to hunt Tsitsiyaku? I know there's the quest for Palumu after we got back, so I just can't remember if they did ask you to go after Tsitsiyaku, or was like, just explore and find another campsite and that was it for that expedition. But to me, it feels... Combat feels more satisfying in World Iceborne because you have this weight and timing a little bit more pertinent. If you mess it up, you know you messed it up. And when you start to, like, get the rhythm, you really feel it. Rise, Sunbreak, you're too dynamic for it. It just kind of, like, loses that weight. Oh, shoot. Okay, let's see if we can just bring him back this way. Although he's doing a bit of a weird roll up there, ain't he? Nope. Shoot. Yeah, there we go. Another nice thing, too, was... Again, the Slinger wasn't a forced item to use, but on certain fights, like up against Radobaan when he's doing his rolls, if you hit him with a I think it was any damage, but because, like, the majority of weapons are melee, it gave Blade Masters a way to topple him. It's just like an extra. I think Monster Hunter is best when its gimmicks are more like, instead of main focus, they're a side feature. Oh, careful. Thank you, Runa. Just ran to a spot where we needed that. Yeah, you know what? Let me see. Oh, where am I? I was just going to try to break a little bit more of the armor off him, but you know what? We'll grab the Slinger Thorn. Oh, is that even more? Piercing Pod. No, I think the big guy's tired. There we go. Got a knockout. And you know what? We will soften up the face a bit. Yeah, it gives you a little boost, but I still don't feel like it's as necessary as it was. So let's just keep working at him. Ooh. Yeah, he's too tired to even put out his little defenses. Okay, so he's digging it off. Oh, nope, he's getting his bones back. Can I? Okay, I can't interrupt him while he's doing that. But we can shoot a few through him. Oh. I actually didn't realize he was that close. Down he goes. Yeah, World Iceborne, there's just a lot of it coming back. I really do love this entry. With the I.C.E., I think I do have to put World Iceborne as my favorite title. Without it, though, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate probably takes the crown for me. Just because there is a big difference in feeling like you have a tool to help you along, and you're being pushed and forced into using a feature. So yeah, we'll just get a little bit more tracks if we can. God, these guys are pretty annoying, aren't they? Okay, well, that looks like the last of that. We'll just climb our way back to base camp and head out of here. I'm actually not sure what to expect next for, like, hunts. We are low rank. I'm trying to think of what monsters we've yet to see. I think we might actually be getting more towards the end of things. Well, at least for, like, low rank stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Since you got that, I'm not telling you why I came here. Look on your face. I'm going to guess that you were tricked into coming. Yeah, so we'll just return from expedition. A little bit of a successful outing. Took a little look around the Rotten Vale. Again, I feel like there are certain parts that, like, break away or change a lot, like, after this.
Huh? It's you two.
Have we met?
Sorry, I forgot. You were out cold when I found you. I'm from the First Fleet. You folks are lucky to be alive.
Hang on. She must be the one who saved us. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you.
Just glad you're still in one piece. Fifth Fleet, am I right? What are you doing out here?
Actually...
And then we get the story.
This is from Zora Magdaros? I'll see what I can find. I've spent years delving into this valley's secrets, and I'm starting to understand a thing or two. Now it's your turn. Learn all that you can about this place. Next time we meet, we can compare notes. Sound good?
Yes, we're on the job.
Good. See ya.
Oh, like, see, there's one thing that I feel like the player should have, or should get, and I can't remember if it is a thing or not, but because of the Rotten Vale being, well, rotten as it is, I don't remember if there's like a little gas mask or something that you got as like a hunter item, just to help you fight that off. Well, think about it, that would have been like a neat little thing you could like pick up from the base camps in the Rotten Vale. It's just like a supply item you equip, and it gives you a certain time length. You're immune to the effluvium effects or stuff like that. I know it's an armor skill that you can have, but I feel like something like that, because it's more like an environmental impact, like the cold drink, hot drink sort of feel, that would have been another thing in that line. Okay, let's wrap things up here. No sign of Zora Magdaros' trail. Disappointing. I suggest you descend further. The effluvium levels will be more toxic, but that's not going to be a problem, now is it? Just say the word when you're ready.
You should prepare before going down to the bottom of the Rotten Vale. There might not be any turning back once we're there.
Yeah, so we're going to be going down deeper. I think I'm actually going to keep my ammo and everything I've got and restock us of it. I don't think there's really anything... Well, you know what? I can probably switch that over. Where is the auto sort? There it is. Oh, actually, hang on. Can I not... I guess that's all I have of normal 3. Okay, that should be all right for now, though. So yeah, we'll end this episode here before we go into the Rotten Vale. I think I know what's next, but I'm kind of surprised, like, we're at this point. I think it's because I'm so used to a bit of a larger monster roster. I forget, like, how quickly you sort of seem to be going from mid-tier stuff more to, like, the bigger, more recognizable monster names. But for now, thank you all very much for joining me on this episode of Monster Hunter World I.C.E. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to give it a like, and if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure in the comments right down below. Until I do see you in the next video, Hunters and Survivors, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy hunting.